Hello and what is going on? I'm El Director, this is El Director Vision, and you are watching Indie Rebel, Hollywood effects without a Hollywood budget. As some of you who have followed my channel for some time may know, this year marks the 10-year anniversary of production on Leap Rise of the Beast, this year being the end of 2020. At this point, I had most of the movie shot, and I was definitely well on my way with the visual effects. And just for fun, I decided to pull out my old hard drive today, and believe it or not, I plugged it in, and the thing still works. As you can see, this is that hard drive. I've even got my original HD print on here still. Go ahead and pull that over here, just so you guys can see. Kind of click through a little bit, and you can see the whole thing in its full HD glory right here. Someday I would love to put this thing onto a Blu-ray. But yeah, really, really cool that I still had access to the drive. And I thought, well, gee, I wonder what else I could find. Sure enough, I go into the drive and I go into Leap 2. I have all my original online camera files. These are the files straight out of the DSLR. And that got me thinking even more. I came across this shot. And I said, I wonder if I could do something with this. So in the movie, that particular shot ends up looking like this. And we've got the two guys coming up over a wall. And when you pause it like I just have, it becomes very obvious that this is not a real location. This is not the real shot. We can, in fact, tell that it was shot on a different day and that I've simply done a replacement. You can still see a little bit of a halo around Shane right here. You can even see a little tiny bit of a divot down here too, where my key's going crazy. Their hair is all messed up. In fact, actually, you can really begin to see it. Yeah, like in just some of the shots right up through here around this guy's head and this guy's head over here. I mean, it's bad. It's horrible. But believe it or not, this was projected on a 30-foot movie screen and it looked absolutely incredible. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about how we pulled this off, and then I'll show you how I would do it today, and hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to make this shot look even better. By the way, I do want to say that, we've got like 1.5 million views on this movie right now here on this YouTube channel. Not one person has ever commented on this being a bad effect. I've heard about some of the other effects, but this particular effect has not been labeled as a bad effect, and I think that's really cool. And it's a testament to the fact that, when the shot goes by as quick as it does, it's literally like 30 frames long, it's amazing what you can get away with. It's really cool. So at the time, I did this in Adobe After Effects CS4. It was the only version that I had at the time, and so I did the main edit in Sony Vegas Pro 9, and then I exported all my visual effects shots into After Effects, and that's what I've got here. I literally was able to, from my hard drive, let's see if I can find this again, go into here, and then Leap 2, Project Files, After Effects, and sure enough, I was able to get into here and find my sky replacement stuff. Yeah, here we go, sky replace test. And that was the shot. So I'm like, wow, I have access to the way I actually did this 10 years ago. And I don't know, it's kind of nostalgic and fun for me. So this is the way I used to do special effects here inside this ugly layer-based environment. But let's take a look and see what we did to it, shall we? Originally, I duplicated my footage. So you can see the duplicates down here in the timeline. And then I added an effect called Colorama, which you can see right here. And that helped me get my initial key out of it, my initial contrast. And the reason why I did it this way, and the reason why I used Colorama, was because I'd been following Video Copilot tutorials in order to learn After Effects. And so naturally, when you learn how to do a sky replacement one way, that's the way you're going to keep doing it. And it wasn't great. I mean, you can still see the brick lines down here. So then I added a curves effect to really crunch this down into a good black and white image. Once I did that, I used that layer as a Luma matte. You can see I've got set up right here, and that then gave me my alpha channel. And on the alpha channel, it looks great, but on black, you can see we got a bit of a halo, and that's going to pose us some problems in a minute. So then I had to pre-compose it, because again, we're working with layers and not nodes, so you can't just grab inputs and outputs and move them around. So I had to pre-compose the shot. And then I end up out in here, and it's got a curves effect on the background layer. You can see I try to brighten that up a little bit. And then the actual shot itself had a simple choker applied to try to get rid of some of that halo. And if we zoom in here, you can see the halo from the original key and then a simple choker to get rid of it. And it's not bad. I mean, this passed muster on a 30-foot screen, but you start getting artifacts like this and things, and I mean, the guy's hair is super smooth. But again, it's a 30-frame shot, and you know, for as fast as it goes by, nobody really notices, and you can get away with a lot. But how would I do this today? If I was using my standard workflow today, I would probably have done my edit in Avid Media Composer, and I would have had like a very temp version of this shot, and then I'd bring everything here into DaVinci Resolve. If it was a short film, I might edit here in Resolve. You know, Resolve is getting better, but I do like cutting in Avid. But here I am back in Resolve. I'm conforming my onlines, and I'm doing my color grades and doing my effect shots. So how am I going to do this in Fusion? Well, first thing you're going to do is just line up on your shot. Here I've got this same original shot, MVI 1288, and I've trimmed it down to the exact length and the exact same frames and all that good stuff. And we're just going to go ahead and jump into Fusion. Simple as that. Now I'm going to disconnect my media out node. We don't need to worry about that quite yet. And let's take a look at our shot. Now the way I view a shot is I just hit 1 on the keyboard. You can also, see if I've got that there, drag your node up to the viewer to view it as well. But I come from Nuke, and in Nuke you just use the 1 key to click around between your stuff and bring stuff up into the viewer. Also, I like having 1 viewer. I could bring up 2 viewers if I want. I just like having 1. Again, that stems from my Nuke days. So how are we going to do that here inside of Fusion? Well, learning things as I have over the years, I know now that there's actually something called Luma keying. I didn't know about it back then, so let's try Luma keyer. I'm just going to find my Luma keyer effect. I'm going to add it in. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're doing better. Just move this to the center of the screen. There we go, perfect. And let's view it. And it looks like total rubbish. But if I come down here and click invert, I can say, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. And I'm just going to clip out my lows and my highs, try to restore as much detail as I can to the lows, while taking out as much of that sky as I can up here in the high. Crush it down, crush it down. I'm looking at my transparency right down here, trying to clean that up. And I don't care too much about the brick. I really just want to make sure that my actors are completely opaque. And about like that. That actually looks pretty darn good right there. And then let's see if I can play with my mats at all. I can blur it maybe slightly if I wanted. I can contract that down. Whoa, okay. It still gave him a little bit of a haircut. Let's go ahead and make this full screen. But that's not horrible. And for as quick as that was, I mean, we're talking about doing quick and dirty effects. That's pretty dang cool. Now, I do have some issues down here on him. Let's see if we can choke that in a bit more. Bingo, just like that. All right, now we need our background. So I'm going to take this, put this over to here. I'm going to bring in my background. This is the original background plate, and it is massive. It is a 18 megapixel image, so we need to, first of all, crop that down. There are different ways to do it. My favorite way to do it is to add a background node, and then I merge it on top, and I view it, and I make sure that my background node is the same size as my original footage, so 1920 by 1080. I can see that, and we're good. And now I'm going to add a transform node right there, and we'll just go and scale down our buildings to fit the frame. Something about like that maybe. And then I think I honestly had dropped it down a little bit too, just like that. Now, if I take my keyed foreground, I can literally lay that over the new background. We're going to put this down here and view it. We can see that we're starting to get something here where this is actually coming together quite nicely. All right, let's go and play it and see how it looks. For a first pass, that is looking really, really, really good, actually. I would totally go for it. We've got a little bit of issue here in James's hair, but it's not bad. That actually works quite well. I think at this point, the only thing left to do would really be to probably add some color correction down here. Oh, that's a brightness contrast. Well, that'll probably still work. Let's try adding just a little bit of brightness. A little bit of contrast. Trying to match that DSLR look and vibe. There we go. That looks like something that you would shoot. And then maybe add a very, very slight blur. Like that. Not a whole lot, just a little bits. You could also go ahead and add light wrap to this too, and probably make that look quite good. But already, I mean, that's already looking leaps and bounds, no pun intended, better than the original shot. And, you know, it took me less than 10 minutes to do, whereas before, this definitely took a lot longer. The other cool thing about this now, I want to go ahead and focus on this for a second, is that we have absolutely zero pre-comps going on, right? I can look at my shot and see everything that I did, whereas on the After Effects version, I've got 2 pre-comps that I'm dealing with, and even then, like, it's kind of tricky to figure out what exactly is going on. At first glance, I don't know what this is. I have to look for these 2 icons telling me that there's a Luma key involved. Then, you know, if I'm not clicked on the actual clip, I got to click on the actual clip to bring up the Luma key settings, and then I can come start modifying stuff from there. Going with, I believe it's output cycle, and that's where the clipping occurred, the masking. Here we are inside of Fusion. This was so fast, so easy to do, and it really just worked. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you want to see more stuff from like how I actually have used effects inside of, you know, my independent feature films, let me know in the comments below. I've got some other original ideas I would like to do as well. Some new stuff with matte paintings and some more green screen stuff and that kind of a thing. But I don't know, I was just feeling nostalgic today, poking through my old hard drive, and I said, oh, that's how I used to do it. How would I do it today, and can I make it look any better? And I think that I would have to agree that yes, I can make this actually look better now than it did way back when, and it's really all thanks to the free tools that we have available. I am using the studio version of Resolve, but everything I just did here, you could totally do in the free version. So if you've got a cell phone or your mom and dad's SLR camera, or you can even find like a used T2i on eBay for like, you know, $200, get it, go out, shoot the stuff, use DaVinci Resolve, which is free. And I mean, it's just amazing what kind of power you now have at your fingertips as an independent filmmaker, and more importantly, as a storyteller and someone that wants to entertain. So that's it. I'm going to quit rambling. Thanks for watching. I'm L Director. This is L Director Vision, and you've been watching Indie Rebel Hollywood Effects without the Hollywood budget. We'll see you next time.